We will be starting in approximately 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the court's first virtual swearing-in ceremonies. Please keep your audio muted throughout the ceremony. We also ask that you keep your audio muted when the oath is administered. If you wish to follow the speaker, you may want to set your view to speaker view. Please note that because we are broadcasting, there will be pauses to allow for the lag time between a live event and the broadcast. Ms. Marie Robertson, Acting Chief Deputy Clerk of the Court of Appeals, will offer opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Dade. Good afternoon and congratulations. On behalf of the Clerk of the Court, Julio Castillo, and the Court of Appeals, I welcome all of the applicants, your families, and your friends. You have been through a lot in the past year, more than your colleagues who joined the bar at other times. We thank you for bearing with us through these last several months and commend you for your perseverance. One note about the oath you will take shortly: I will use the word swear. If you object to that word for religious reasons, please simply say affirm. And also, please remember to mute your microphones. Again, congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Robertson. The courtroom clerk will now open the courtroom.
All persons having business before the Honorable Associate Judge, now presiding over the District of Columbia Court of Appeals, draw near and give your attention. God save this United States in this honorable court.
Thank you, Mr. Dickerson. The Honorable Judge Eric Washington will offer introductory remarks.
Good morning. My name is Eric Washington, and I'm a senior judge on the District of Columbia Court of Appeals. On behalf of all of my colleagues on the court, I am pleased to welcome you, the prospective new members of the bar, as well as your family and friends, to our first virtual bar admission ceremony. Generally, when I come to court to hear cases, it's a serious and sobering affair. So it is with pleasure that I preside over this joyful occasion, the swearing-in ceremony and I can happily inform you that by the time we finish here today, you will all be prevailing parties. The Court of Appeals is a relatively new court. We were created by Congress in 1970 to review appeals from the district's trial court, the Superior Court of the District of Columbia, as well as appeals from DC administrative agencies. The court created the DC Bar, and it is our duty to oversee its members, including to rule on motions for admission of new members. Today, that motion will be made on your behalf by Ms. Omolola Oluyemi, an attorney who serves as special assistant to the clerk of the court. Ms. Oluyemi.
Good afternoon, Judge Washington. On behalf of the Committee on Admissions of the District of Columbia Court of Appeals, I, Omolola Oluyemi, Esquire, Special Assistant to the Clerk of the Court, move the admission to the bar of this court the applicants whose name appear on the attached list. They have each satisfied the requirements for admission to the bar of this court. On behalf of the Committee on Admissions, I certify to the court that these applicants possess the necessary qualifications for admission to this bar. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Oluyemi. The order has been sent to me. I am reviewing it. The order as it appears, to me, this may be our most qualified group of applicants ever to the bar. And while it may appear to all of you that this motion only received a cursory review from me, I want you to know that I received the motion before today's ceremony. And I know that the Committee on Admissions has devoted a great deal of time to your applications and would not have put you on this list if anything were out of order. So I am pleased on behalf of the court to grant the motion to admit today's candidates as members of the DC Bar. I will now recognize Ms. Robertson, our acting Chief Deputy Clerk of the Court, to administer the oath.
Thank you, Judge Washington. In person, we all stand for this part of the ceremony. Today, you may sit or stand as you wish. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that as a member of the bar of this court, I will demean myself uprightly and according to law. And that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Robertson. Congratulations again to all of you. By virtue of the oath you just took here today, you have joined one of the largest and we think most distinguished professional organizations in the country. When I found out that I would have the distinct pleasure of addressing you today, I wondered what I could say that would be both meaningful and memorable. After a great deal of thought, I decided the best thing I could do to make this occasion memorable was to keep my remarks short so as to not interfere with anything meaningful you have planned for today already. Thus, I will take just a few minutes to share with you some thoughts about the role of lawyers in promoting and preserving the rule of law in our community and in the importance of civility in your professional conduct. First and foremost, my colleagues and I want to remind you that the practice of law is a privilege, not a right. Today, we are making a ceremonial statement that you are smart enough and wise enough to be entrusted with the privilege of practicing law here in the District of Columbia. With this privilege, however, comes certain responsibilities. Because of your intelligence and training, others will look to you for your guidance, counsel, and help in solving the problems they face. How well you respond to the challenges presented to you will affect the lives and the livelihoods of a great many people, some of whom you may never even meet. Always remember that your performance as lawyers, good and bad, will reflect back on you and on the profession as a whole. While I'm confident that each of you will strive to zealously represent your clients, you must never forget that the law is a profession dedicated to public service. While cities like the District of Columbia face enormous problems in providing services for the more vulnerable members of our community, your presence here today is indicative of the enormous amount of brain power that can be brought to bear on those challenges by people who live, work, and do business here in the nation's capital. To this end, my colleagues and I encourage each of you to get involved in the life of the city by volunteering your time and your talent to one or more of the pro bono legal clinics that exist here. The administrative office of the DC Bar can help you connect with many of these opportunities. I'm confident that you'll be able to find an opportunity to serve the residents of this city doing something that you really enjoy, and something that will give greater meaning to both your personal and your professional life. No matter how much money you give to charity, and I certainly encourage you to give as much as you can, I doubt that you will receive the same psychological satisfaction that you will receive from providing legal services to an individual, family, or nonprofit organization that desperately needs help but can't afford a lawyer. Regardless of whether you're providing pro bono legal services to an indigent individual, or representing a Fortune 500 company, or working as a lawyer for the local or federal government, please also remember that your zealous advocacy must be balanced against your ethical obligations to the profession and your obligations to act civilly towards one another and the courts. And I want to take just a few minutes to talk about the importance of civility in the practice of law and call to your attention the civility standards that have been developed to govern practice in the District of Columbia. As the preamble to the DC Bar's general principles on civility state, in part, civility in professional conduct is the responsibility of every lawyer. While lawyers have an obligation to represent clients zealously, we must also be mindful of our obligations to the administration of justice. Incivility to any participant in the legal profession demeans the legal profession, undermines the administration of justice, and diminishes respect for both the legal process and the results of our system of justice. Our judicial system is a truth-seeking process designed to resolve human and societal problems in a rational, peaceful, and efficient manner, and designed to be perceived as producing fair and just results. We must be careful to avoid actions or statements which undermine the system or the public's confidence in it. I can't stress strongly enough how important it is to all of my colleagues that your conduct as lawyers reflect the highest of standards in this regard. It is no secret to anyone in this room that public opinion polls have placed lawyers at or below used car salesmen in terms of honesty and trustworthiness. Now, while some of the blame for the low esteem in which we are held can be laid at the feet of the media for its portrayal of lawyers in movies and primetime television dramas, we can't ignore our own culpability for the public's perception of us. Too often, in zealously representing our clients, we resort to conduct which is unnecessarily provocative in an effort to highlight the case or show our clients how much we believe in their issues. Unfortunately, oftentimes this type of conduct also leads us to be less civil to one another and the courts than is demanded by our civility standards. And the courts and that incivility undermines the public's confidence in our legal system. Maintaining public trust and confidence in the courts is the responsibility of each of us. So please keep in mind the preamble to our civility standards as you engage in the practice of law here in the District of Columbia. These remarks certainly remind us of a year in which provocative, uncivil conduct has shown and reared its ugly head across our country. And certainly we could talk a lot about what it means to protect, to defend, and to preserve the rule of law. But I'm going to stop now because I promised you that I would keep my remarks short. In closing, however, if you remember nothing else that I have said here this morning, please remember two words: service and civility, and try to incorporate them as much as possible into your professional life. If you do, there's little doubt that you will make an important contribution both to the residents of the city and to the fair administration of justice in our courts. Once again, on behalf of my colleagues on the District of Columbia Court of Appeals, congratulations and welcome to the bar.
This court is now adjourned.